like refrigerator Perry, and just how hard he is. On Saturday, it gives us the chills to watch those boys in orange run together down that hill. So everybody sing Tiger Rag at the top of your lungs, and we'll party like it's 1981. Make those Death Valley lights shine. Sing and for good luck, we got Howard's Rock to beat the hell out of them old Gamecocks. It's a damn good day to be a Clemson Tiger. Oh, somewhere up in heaven, Gaines Adams makes a sack, and that old Banks McFadden is the best damn running back. So everybody sing Tiger Rag at the top of your lungs, and we'll party like it's 1981. Make those Death Valley lights shine brighter. And for good luck, we got Howard's Rock to beat the hell out of them old Gamecocks. It's a damn good day to be a Clemson Tiger. It's a damn good day to be a Clemson Tiger. Everybody, damn good day to be a Clemson Tiger. Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Obviously, I don't normally do a live stream on Wednesdays. This is something that is a very last-minute thing. First of all, the hurricane that's hitting Florida right now, that's one thing I want to talk about. It's also another reason I'm doing this stream right now. I just got home, and this thing is going to go through Florida, through Georgia, and South Carolina. By the time it gets to my area, it's obviously not going to be a big threat as far as hurricane-type force winds, but it is going to still be a very bad tropical storm more than likely, and there's a very good chance tomorrow that I may not have power. And so I might not be able to do a stream tomorrow. So I didn't do a lot of preparation for this. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but obviously, first and foremost, anybody who's in the area of the storm here. I mean, this thing came out of nowhere, didn't it? I mean, we knew there was going to be a hurricane that hit, but it went from a tropical storm to a Category 4 storm in a hurry. It looks like it's pounding the panhandle of Florida. Anybody who's in the path of that, my thoughts go out to you, and I hope everybody's safe. Let me see who's in the chat here. Miranda Dansby, good afternoon. The finisher is a Florida fan. Are you in Florida, sir? Jim Pats Lose. Falcons Ferry, good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Let's see here. Jim Pats Lose. Bears went to win the division. I saw that on Sports Fury. Vikings offense versus them look great. That division is wide open as the NFC East. Yeah, the division is wide open, and you never can count out, the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I just think that the Bears defense is, I don't know, maybe top 3 in the entire NFL. And the Packers don't have much of a defense or very much run help for Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers is, let's be real here, guys, he's banged up. So I don't know. That division is wide open, but I think the Bears have as good a chance to win it as anybody. What's up, Pete? This hurricane ain't no joke. Tallahassee getting pounded by a second hurricane in 5 days. Yeah. Falcons Fury, hope you beat the Bucks. Yeah, I do too. And believe me, I don't like the Falcons one bit, but I don't like the Bucks either. And I think the Falcons will beat them. Forever Diego, good afternoon, sir. I don't know if I've seen you in here before, but thank you for stopping in. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Everybody who's in here, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button. And yeah, so some of you guys clearly are coming over here from seeing me on the Sports Fury, so I appreciate them. Those guys are awesome. Anytime I get to link up and do a video with them, I mean, it's a lucky day for Pigskin Pete. And yeah, so if Josh and Sean are watching, or if they're going to watch this later, of course, as always, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. Yeah, goes without saying. For every Diego says, Pigskin, your picks were on point this week. Well, thank you. I hope so. The NFL this year is so unpredictable, though. I mean, it's just almost impossible to predict week to week in the NFL what's going to happen. But I feel pretty confident about my picks, nonetheless. Ryan Reedley, good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the stream. David in Atlanta, how you doing, man? He says, I was an Andrew back in 1992. Pete, everyone, please be safe. Hurricanes are no joke. Yeah. No, I'm not really in the path of the storm. I was more worried about the last one that came through that looked like it could have hit where I am, and we dodged a bullet there. And this thing is moving. This is more dangerous because it's moving so fast and it got so powerful so quickly that even once it goes through Florida and goes into Georgia, it's still probably going to be a Category 1 storm as it goes all the way through the heart of Georgia. So Georgia inland is still going to get a hurricane out of this. So the devastation path of this thing is going to extend far and wide. I haven't seen, I was watching Paul Feinbaum yesterday, and somebody called in and asked about, is this going to affect college football this weekend? And at that time, nobody thought it would because it's going to move off the coast pretty quickly. And it's going to be well off the shore by the time football starts this weekend. But, that really depends on how bad it devastates the area because, if the roads are closed, if there's no power, a lot of these college football games that are in the path of that storm very well may be canceled if they're not already. Has anybody heard anything about any games being canceled or delayed? I haven't yet. All right, Diego said he's been a subscriber. He's just a quiet one. Well, don't be so quiet, sir. Unless you want to. I get it. Bruce Phillips, good afternoon, sir, and welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. The True Beast, Notre Dame's the best ACC team. Maybe you're one of the best ACC teams if you actually, grew up here and joined the ACC. As of right now, no, you're not. I do agree that you are an ACC team, so I'm glad to see a Notre Dame fan actually admit that you are. So that's a step in the right direction, sir. I heard nothing either. That's what's up. Good afternoon, sir. He says Uncle Lou was on his period today. Okay, yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch him today. I know when did he go on? Oh, he must have just been on recently. I know he goes on at like 3. Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch that. Why did he get in an argument with somebody? Not a big shocker there. That's when he's at his best. Chiefs versus Patriots and Bengals versus Steelers games, week 6, no doubt. Yeah, so that Chiefs and Patriots game on Sunday night is going to be an awesome one. And Bengals and Steelers, that's an interesting one. And, of course, I picked the Steelers to win that, even though the Bengals are very shocking so far this year. David in Atlanta, I hope Georgia plays Clemson in the playoff. Yeah, you know what? That will be I don't really care who Clemson plays as long as they're in the playoff. That's first and foremost, so we'll go ahead and just call it what it is. One team I really would like to play is Notre Dame in the playoff, if they get there. If we get there. Herbert Bradford, good afternoon, sir. May there, he says. We got a pair until we go 11-1. Then we'll join, but until that happens, no way. I don't think that Notre Dame is going to join a conference anytime soon, even though they should. And that's coming from inside source inside Notre Dame. I don't get it. I will cease to ever understand why Notre Dame will not join a conference. They've already joined the ACC in basketball and baseball. Okay, they basically play almost a full schedule of ACC football, but they don't join the conference. If and when they do it, I don't think you're going to see it happen till at least 2022 or 2023. That's when a lot of the TV contracts are up. That's when there's supposed to be another big conference realignment, according to the experts. And so I don't think we'll see anything till at least then. But even then, there's some sort of pride that the boosters for Notre Dame and just the overall administration of the university have in being independent. I don't get it. I don't see how it benefits them in 2018. That might have been something that benefited Notre Dame, over the past 40 years or however long. But it just doesn't, in this day and age, it doesn't help them. And I give Notre Dame a lot of crap and a lot of that's trash talking. But if I try to put myself, and this is hard for me to imagine, okay, but I'm going to do it. If I put myself in the shoes of a Notre Dame fan, not a Notre Dame alum, not a Notre Dame booster, not anybody that's actually affiliated with the university anyway, just a fan of the team, I don't want Notre Dame being independent anymore, period. Because you can talk about how it makes them all this money. First of all, that's not even true anymore either, and we can get into that if you want, but as a fan, you're not seeing a dollar of that money. Even if they are making a buttload of money off of it, which they used to, but the way football works now, they're not making any more than Clemson is, or Florida State, or Georgia, or Alabama, or Ohio State, or any of these other major programs in major conferences. You're just not. But as a fan, it doesn't do you a damn bit of good to watch your team go 11-1 and be left out, if that's what it comes down to, which is what eventually will happen, I think. Or Ever Diego says, Pigskin, am I the only one that's very sick and tired of seeing Bama play these high school schedules every weekend? I disagree with that on premise, sir, because they say the same thing about Clemson. They say the same thing about every major program. Of course, Ohio State fans will come on here and say, well, we don't play FCS teams, but meanwhile they schedule Oregon State and UNLV, which is basically an FCS team. I mean, there are FCS teams that are better than Oregon State and UNLV. So, I mean, it is what it is. Every single major program schedules cupcakes. Now, if you want to be real about it, I would say I'm with shortening the regular season schedule altogether, getting rid of cupcakes completely. If you're a Power 5 football program, you only play other Power 5 football programs. Let's make it 10 or 11 games in the regular season and expand the playoffs to 6 or 8 teams and extend the postseason. That would fix that, but of course that's not going to happen either, because that would make sense. And the NCAA doesn't do very much that makes sense. Pete, how do you feel Georgia can go? How far do you feel Georgia can go? Do you feel we are a legit national contender? And Falcons, do you feel we can make the playoffs? So you've said a lot there. The answer to is Georgia a legit national title contender? Yes, they are. I think they're one of the top 5 programs in the country and teams. So yes, to that. I think they probably need to improve that offense and probably make a change at quarterback. In my opinion, I don't see Fromm winning a title. I mean, if you just look at the other great teams, the other top 4 teams in the country. When you got Clemson's got a dynamic passer. Yes, he's a true freshman, but nonetheless a dynamic passer. Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State. Oklahoma's offense speaks for itself. Alabama and Tua. So you've got to have a quarterback that can move the ball down the field to win at all, I think. But as far as them being a contender, yes, I still think that. Do I think the Falcons can make the playoffs? No, I don't. And the only reason I say that I don't think that at this point is because they dropped to 1-4, and that's it. There hasn't been a team that's been 1-4 that's made the playoffs since I think like 1970 something. So they would be the first team to do that in 40 years. I think they're a playoff caliber team, but dropping those games that they probably should have won early in the year really, really hurt them. The True Beast, Notre Dame fan, says he'd prefer to join the Big Ten, though, because he lives in Ohio. I hope we play Ohio State in the playoff. And then he goes on to call Dennis Wilson a moron. Yeah, so first of all, I kind of agree that geographically it makes more sense for Notre Dame to join the Big Ten. I don't think, if they do end up joining a conference, I don't think it will be the Big Ten, though. And the reason I say that is because there's obviously some sort of agreement between the ACC and Notre Dame that makes financial sense for both parties. And I may piss some people off when I say this, and it is what it is. It's just a fact. There's been several teams that have tried to join the ACC, West Virginia being one of them, and were denied because of academic standards. We all know Notre Dame is a very good academic school. And I think that has a lot to do with it. Not that the Big Ten is not, doesn't have great academic universities. So don't everyone come on here and tell me, well, look at Michigan and just stop it with that. But look at the ACC. You have half of the conference probably, and Clemson's not included in that. Clemson's a top 20 public university in the country academically. But, you've got Duke, you've got North Carolina, you've got the University of Virginia, you've got Pitt. You've got Boston College. These are all elite. Georgia Tech, all elite academic universities. I think that has a lot to do with it. But it always comes down to money. It always comes down to money at the end of the day. So I think that's if they join a conference, it probably more than likely will be the ACC. Saints and hold on, let me see this. Clemson Jacob, good afternoon, sir. He says Saints and Clemson on a bye this weekend is going to be boring. No, it's not going to be boring. There's still lots of good games in the NFL and in college football. So, Falcons Fury. Do I think Alabama will win the national championship considering they have a lot of trouble on defense? Oh. Well, I'm not going to say whether or not I think that Alabama will win the national championship because all you have to do, if you're Alabama, it doesn't matter if you go 14-0. All you got to do is lose one game and not be a national champion. I will say that Alabama is the most complete team after 6 weeks of football. But a lot can happen. Teams get better. Teams get worse. Unfortunately, teams suffer injuries. We've already seen one. Now, the best defensive back for Alabama went down, which is a huge blow to an already somewhat worrisome, I'm not going to say bad, but worrisome defense. Giving up 31 points to Arkansas is worrisome. But Alabama's still Alabama. They still got, from top to bottom, more 5 stars than any other team in the country on their roster. So, and of course the best coach in the country in modern history. So, to answer your question, I'm not going to say whether or not Alabama will win it. I still think that they have the best chance to win it, though, after 6 weeks. And, who can disagree with that? Jim Pats lose. Clemson Jacob, he's talking to Chiefs versus Patriots and Bengals versus Steelers, far from boring. Yeah, there's a lot of really great games this weekend. Of course, my Panthers are playing, so even though Clemson has a bye week, I'll still have my Panthers, and I'm really looking forward to a lot of these games. Where's my list at? Yeah, so I went over these yesterday. I think Tennessee, Auburn. Still excited. For some reason that's a must-watch game, despite the fact that the wheels are falling off Auburn, and Tennessee is terrible. I still want to see that game. Georgia and LSU. Come on. Miami and Virginia. Now, that's one of the most intriguing games because Virginia, normally one of the worst teams in the ACC. A lot of people have Miami losing that game. Now, I don't. I have Miami winning it, but still interesting nonetheless. I think that game is in Virginia. Virginia Tech, North Carolina. Virginia Tech still in the hunt to win the Coastal, despite losing to Notre Dame and Old Dominion. Missouri and Bama, not so interesting. The only thing that's going to be interesting is to see how Alabama's defense does against Drew Lock and those people. But, Missouri's defense can't stop a nosebleed, so Bama will probably put up 60 on them. Wisconsin, Michigan. So there's a bunch of really good games, despite the fact that there's a bunch of buys. What's up, Michael Lynch? Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. Otherwise, you'd not be here. And the GOAT as well. Thank you for stopping in. Uncle Lou. Good afternoon, sir. Let me click on your name real quick and see if this is the real Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou, I'm sure it probably is you, but you have more people coming on my streams trying to copy fake Uncle Lou's coming on here than anybody. I don't know what people have a hard on for you, sir. And yes, the answer to that is yes. I'm using OBS. Why do you ask, sir? Okay, it is you. Good morning and good afternoon, of course. The GOAT says this is 19 Savage. So I banned 19 Savage, but he's back with a different name. Uncle Lou, I thought yours... Is it OBS crashing or is it an internet problem because of this storm? Obviously, I have no idea. I know that you are way further inland than I am, and I figured maybe you might be having problems with the storm. But you're saying the OBS is crashing, huh? I don't know. I mean, I don't seem to be having a problem with that. You might be using a different version. First of all, I use Mac. I don't know. I don't think you use Mac. And you also, I think, might be using Studio. You can tell me if this is right. Just from what I can see from the way that your stream looks, you might be using a different version of OBS than me. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, I'm basically retarded. So, I don't know what to tell you. Pete, I've also tried cheese and crackers, but it's very annoying to cut all that cheese. I have no idea what you're talking about. Falcons Fury, are you still talking about ham sandwiches, sir? You and your ham sandwiches and now cheese and crackers. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got you, Uncle Luke. Yeah, and by the way, sir. Yeah, you can email me, call me, text me, whatever you want to do. I do. Yeah, I do have some questions for you about Studio because I want to start using that soon. But I don't want to. I know you're a very busy and important person. I don't want to waste your time. But, yeah, go ahead and email me. Lynn J. Dixon wins Heisman in 3 years. Jay Yates. Yeah, Uncle Lou, call me this evening. Anytime after 6 p.m., I'll be available. Yes. Thank you, sir. Jay Yates, 28, FIFA, Madden, and more. That's a long name. I'm just going to call you Jay Yates. How about that? Lynn J. Dixon wins the Heisman in 3 years. Yeah, that guy, how did we end up getting him? Because he was a very late addition to the team, and the guy's an absolute beast to add to an already deep running back core for Clemson. As far as winning the Heisman, I don't know. I've already given up on running backs winning the Heisman. I'm done with it. I mean, in this day and age, if you ETN is showing up on Heisman, I had a rant about this yesterday, and he should be on Heisman list. Should he win it? I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter. At this point, for a running back to win the Heisman, you may as well have to run for 3,500 yards and 40 touchdowns, because it's a quarterback trophy at this point. It is what it is. I mean, there's no running back in America that can compete with Tua type numbers. The way that college football is going now, with these gaudy numbers that these quarterbacks are putting up because of the type of offenses that they're running, there's not a running back that can do it without really just putting up some crazy stats, which I don't see happening anytime soon. My prediction is you won't see a running back win the Heisman again for another 10 years, or maybe never. If ETN is showing up on Heisman lists, the people must have been watching Pigskin Pete's YouTube channel, because I was big mad yesterday about that. The GOAT, or 19 Savage, wants me to unban him. Well, obviously, I banned you already, and you're still here, so why does it matter? Just behave yourself in this account, and you don't have anything to worry about. Falcons Fury, your obsession with food is epic, sir. So anyway, this would be a good time to go ahead and announce. What's up, Prince 6'1"? How you doing, sir? Be a good time to announce, or not announce. I've already announced it 10 times, but I'm gonna go ahead and reiterate it for anybody who's just stopping in here. But I will be doing a live stream on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. for the Georgia and LSU game, and I'm really looking forward to that. That should be a great game. Tiger Nation, how you doing, sir? Tua has 18. This is Prince 6'1" saying this. Tua has 18 touchdowns, 0 interceptions right now. Yeah, I mean, unless Tua just completely falls off the map, I mean, they might as well go ahead and just mail him the Heisman. Nobody's coming close to that. General Voltard, good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the stream. It says David in Atlanta ran when Lou showed up. Well, was there some sort of history there that I don't know about? Panthers are going to be like Bears last Sunday and tie. No, I doubt it. It's actually, we've seen, 2 ties this week in the NFL? And I know we almost saw another one with Cleveland almost had another tie last week, didn't they? I don't see it happening. I mean, it's very rare for that to happen, let alone twice. I don't think see it happening 3 times. Yeah, so to the Alabama fans out there, I know Billy Dawson is a reasonable Alabama fan. He's one of them, and of course I appreciate that. Reality will set in for Alabama here, and they will be brought down to earth at some point. When I say brought down to earth, do I mean they'll get beat? I'm not saying that. Here's the watch. They will be tested at some point. They still have to play. Well, I was going to say Auburn, but Auburn's probably not going to test them, are they? A defense like LSU could probably test them. I'm trying to find somebody on their schedule here that could test them. Somebody help me out here. I was going to say Auburn, but now I mean maybe I'm talking myself out of this already. I just started this Alabama thing. I'm already talking myself out of it. Tennessee's not going to test them either. Who else do they play out of the East this year? I know they're playing Missouri this weekend. Who else do they play? Oh, Tennessee. Never mind. Forget I've said anything about that. But as far as in the playoffs, they could get tested by any of the 4 teams that are in the top 4 right now, whether it's Clemson, Ohio State, or Georgia. Okay. Prince says there's no way that Clemson loses this weekend. I'd be willing to bet every dollar in my bank account that Clemson does not lose this weekend. Who wants to take that bet? And that's at least $10, by the way, for anybody who's wondering. Georgia's secondary will give Tua a run for his money. They are ball hogs. Georgia's secondary is definitely top 3 right now in the country. I mean, listen, if you take Georgia's secondary out of the equation, they might have 2 losses right now. They might have lost to Missouri. I was about to say they might have lost to South Carolina, but no, that's not true. That's not true at all. But their defense in that Missouri game, hell, they scored more points than the offense did, I think, or at least as many as they did. Yeah, so the Georgia's secondary is somebody that can certainly give somebody like Tua a fit. And we haven't seen Tua. This is the other part of the equation about Tua. So he comes in at the second half of the national title game last year and lights it up. This year, he's been lighting it up every single game, hasn't really had any adversity. We have not seen how he responds to adversity. And that's a real thing. Anybody that has been watching football, whether it's college football or NFL football for any extended period of time, there's a big difference between when you're on top of the world and when you actually face adversity in a game. Playing from behind, getting pressure, getting sacked a lot, throwing a few picks, all these things. We haven't seen this happen to Tua yet. It will happen eventually. More likely than not that eventually he will be tested. And that'll say a lot about how he is as a quarterback, how he responds to that. The GOAT, LSU 28, Georgia 17. I disagree with that. I disagree with the premise that LSU can score 28 points on Georgia's defense. So I think it's way more likely that no matter who wins that game, it's going to be lower scoring than that. And LSU has a great defense. Georgia has a great defense. LSU's offense slightly better than it's been in the past decade, not much better. And Georgia's offense, they have the weapons to do, to have a high-scoring offense, but we're just not seeing it. So I think Georgia is a better team than LSU. And this is well documented. I think Georgia has a better coach than LSU. But, again, like I said yesterday, this game means more for LSU than it does for Georgia. Georgia can lose this game. Not really. Their season's not over. Georgia's goal is to win the East and then have a chance to knock off whoever they play out of the West in the SEC title game, most likely Alabama. And an 11-1 or 12-1 Georgia in the playoffs without a problem. LSU, on the other hand, already has one loss. And if they have any sort of illusions of getting to the SEC title game, they need to win out, period. So Georgia has nothing to lose in this game. LSU has everything to lose. Great point, Prince. He says, how do you slow down great quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson, Tom Brady? And of course, I think he's putting Tua in that category. You hit them and give them pressure. And yes, very true. Yeah, there's only a handful of teams in the country that can probably get to Tua. First of all, he's very good at escaping pressure. Also, he's just very mobile in the pocket, and he knows how to extend plays a lot like Kellen Mond did against Clemson, which was almost a very bad outcome for Clemson. But but there hasn't been anybody that they played so far that can really give him any fits. Ohio State could do it with their defensive line. Clemson's defensive line is good enough to do it. Maybe LSU has a good enough defensive line to do that. I'm trying to think. Auburn, with all of Auburn's offensive problems, they still have an elite defensive line. They could still probably pressure Tua and give him fits. Problem with Auburn is that they can't score. They can't score with Alabama. They can't keep up with that. What's up, Comic Dude 45? Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic, which I already know you are. The GOAT, or 19 Savage, as we should call him, says Cam Newton is overrated. Yeah. Right. This is coming from a Texas fan, right? A Texas fan? What do you think of the quarterback tied offensive scheme, Peete? The quarterback tied offensive scheme? Are you asking me what I think of Alabama's offensive scheme? Is that what you're asking me, Billy? I'm assuming. If that's what you're asking me, I mean, what's not to like? I mean, they're putting up 1 million points. They look unstoppable. So, yeah, I like it. Yeah, Dennis Wilson, that's even though he just called me a knucklehead, yeah, Miami, I will give their defensive line respect. I will. And their entire defense, I'll give them respect. Oh, it's where Tua and Jalen play at the same time. Didn't they do that last week? Now I heard somebody talking about that. I did not actually see that. So how did they work that? Did Did they make Tua the quarterback and Jalen the running back? Or, I mean, how does that? I didn't see it. Explain it to me. Florida has a legit top 3 defensive line in college football. Yeah, Florida's defense is legit. It is. Prince says, who downs the most beers before the Louisville Clemson game? Are we taking bets on that? I mean, I don't want to be the one that takes the crown for that, do I? Well, Tiger Nation doesn't drink, I don't think. So that comes down to me, you, Mrs. Peete, which please, I hope that doesn't happen. And Bobby Durkins. I'm gonna say Bobby Durkins. Yeah, I'll be drinking plenty of beer. Trust me. But I have a high tolerance. I could drink beer all day and not get drunk. I'm not bragging about that. That's probably actually not a good thing. But don't get me any liquor. That's a different story. That's why I try to stay away from liquor as much as I can. Do I remember Super Bowl 50? Yeah, I remember Super Bowl 50. We lost. So what's your point? Who's your NFL team? It's probably the Cowgirls, isn't it? You're probably a fan of a team that hasn't won a playoff game. What, one playoff game in the past 30 years? Come on, sir. No one can drink beer and not get drunk. Oh, okay, listen, if I drink 24 beers, I'll be drunk. But 6-8 beers is not getting me drunk. Sorry, just not. Packers and Broncos. So you're a two-teamer, huh? Yeah. How's that working out for you? Two-teamer. The GOAT, also known as 19 Savage. He's a two-teamer. The Packers and the Broncos. And a Texas college fan. How did that happen, sir? You just picked... He likes the Broncos because they won a Super Bowl a few years ago. He likes the Packers because they won a Super Bowl a few years ago. That's the kind of fan he is. Well, at least Comic Dude 45, you're a Giants and Jets fan, but that's both New York teams. So, and Rutgers is in New Jersey. So I get it. I get that. That makes more sense than being a Texas college fan, a Broncos fan, and a Packers fan. I mean, you talk about 3 different teams that have no association to each other whatsoever. Yeah, Comic Dude 45 years makes sense, but the GOAT, as he calls himself, doesn't. I drink Hawaiian Punch and grape juice and root beer. I outgrew alcohol about 70 years ago. I'm 39 years old now. Yeah, well, I'm the same age as you, sir. I didn't outgrow alcohol. I outgrew a Hawaiian Punch when I was about 12 years old, though, and grape juice. So, you guys, this is why I shouldn't come on here unannounced. With nothing to talk about, because I get caught up in this comment section with you jokers, talking about absolutely nothing. But yeah, the main reason I came on was because I wanted to give my best wishes to anybody in the path of this hurricane, number one, and that, you know, being that it's coming through the Carolinas, I'm anticipating maybe not having power tomorrow. I don't know, or maybe even having a very poor internet signal. But yeah, you guys never disappoint, though, do you? Anu Naga, Good afternoon. Enjoyed your show on Sports Fury. I may be at the Louisville game. You and Bobby Durkins should be class. Yeah, so that's a good thing. First of all, I'm really looking forward to meeting with Bobby. Bobby Durkins here, and I'm sure that we will be doing some live streaming during the at least during the tailgating process. I don't know about during the actual game. We'll see how that all goes. So yeah. We're really looking forward to it. Both my wife and I are really looking forward to it, and I know these guys are too. And I spoke with Bobby the other day. I know he's excited about it. Yeah, Bobby's hilarious. A lot of grown men drink Hawaiian Punch. Ask all four of my cousins. I'll drink Hawaiian Punch. Don't get me wrong, but it's probably going to have to be about half Hawaiian Punch and half vodka. Otherwise, not happening. Oh, Lord. I think that's my cue to get off here. You guys, Falcons Fury. There's a hidden meaning behind this ham sandwich thing, sir. I know it. All right, I'm going to get off. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. If tomorrow... I do have internet and power. I will be coming on for my normal 4 o'clock stream. And, of course, if you're new here, or even if you're not new here, make sure you hit the like button, share it on the internet, the interwebs even. And, of course, this Saturday at 3:30 p.m., Georgia and LSU. So if you're a Georgia fan, check in. If you're an LSU fan, check in. If you hate both of those teams, check in. Yeah. Wrong on Purpose, the artist formerly known as Drake Luke. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, only 85 subscribers away from 1,000. I know we can do it, guys. The goal is by Monday. And if I get that 1,000 by Monday, I have a video planned to thank every single one of you. A video that's probably going to take me a while to put together, but still, nonetheless, it will be epic. And anyway, it doesn't really matter if I hit it by Monday. That's the goal. Even if I don't, I'm still going to make the video once I do hit the 1,000. But I think that we can do it by Monday. I really do. I think you guys can do it. You guys can do it. You're awesome. All right, that's it, guys. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. If you're in the path of this storm, be careful. I don't know what else to say. My thoughts are with you. Thanks to all the moderators. Thanks to everybody that stopped in, Uncle Lou, and everybody else. That's it. Have a great day. Pigskin Pete. Checking out.